Hey guys, Will here with MediaPlace, and in this video we're going to go over one of our new features called Color Burst. Alright, so I'm inside my main library, and I'm going to go ahead and open up this picture here. And if you see on the right hand side under the edit section, you'll see all of our AI features that are involved right here. But what I can do is I'm going to open up Color Burst, and I'm going to click on Apply Color Burst. Now what Color Burst does is it uses AI to detect the main subjects in your picture, and then it grayscales out the background, right? So you can see it grayscaled out everything in the back and it focused in on the color of all my subjects, right? Now the other cool thing is I can increase the saturation here. So if I punch in a little bit, we can just get a little closer. I can pull my saturation slider up and I can increase the saturation, or I can pull it back and I can decrease the saturation, right? Depending on my liking, right? You can save that image out. So I can save this and we can call this image to, we'll call it, Color Burst. Right? And then I can save it out to my library and then move it into folders, or I can drag it to my Color Burst folder there, right? So however you have it set up, you have those options as well. You can also export this out to your hard drive or to your desktop, and then, or you can overwrite the pre-existing file if you chose to do that, right? So that is Color Burst in its simplest form, right? Now we can go back and let me exit out of here, and you can see here is my color bursted image there that we just exported out. Now, if I want to click on a different picture, let's open up this one of this graduation pic, right? Go back into Color Burst under my edit section, and I can hit Apply Color Burst again, right? And you can see here's where it kind of missed an object, right? But this also gives me the opportunity to talk about some of the additional fine-tuning features that Color Burst offers, right? All right, so now if I go back down to my Color Burst section here, you'll see that I've got some fine-tuning options. I've got Keep and I've got Erase. So on my image, if I zoom in, I'll see that this quite didn't capture her hand there, so I need to adjust that. And if I go over here, I need to get these balloons in grayscale as well, right? So let me click on Fit to recenter that. And now what I can do is I'm going to click on Erase first, and it's going to create a mask on everything that it's showing in color. So what I can do is I've got my mask eraser already here, which is my circle that you see. Now, if I want to adjust the shape size of this, I can then drag this with my mouse to the left and make it smaller, or I can drag it and scale it up to make a bigger circle to cover more surface area, right? I do have the ability to change the opacity level of my mask. Right now it's at 80, but I can bring that down. Maybe you don't want it to be so dark. You want to see more of your image. This is where you can change that as well. All right, and then you do have the reset mask button there. If you kind of like are making some changes and you don't like what's happening, you can hit reset and it'll take you back to where you are. All right, so I've got my mask set. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just left click and drag across these balloons and take away all the pink, right? Because I'm in erase mode and I want to make these balloons in grayscale, right? So that's for erase, right? And now I need to punch in here on her hand, and I need to make sure that I want to keep this, right? I want this to be in color, not in grayscale. So I'm going to go back to keep here, and then I'm just going to color over her hand, right? So that it's now pink, right? And if I see anything else that might be out of whack, like right here, we can color that up, kind of just to make that and fine tune it even more, right? To get it to your liking, right? So I've got everything there. Let's go back to Fit. So now what I can do is I can hit Apply Changes. And now the balloons have now gone into grayscale and her hand is now in color, right? And so from here, what I can do is I can then come in and make my subjects a little more saturated to make them pop a little more, right? Get them to your liking. And then bam, you've got yourself a nice color burst image there that you can then save out, right? And so what I can do is I can then drag this into my color burst photos here, and then I can exit out, go to my color burst folder, and here is my final product, right? So a lot of great options within Color Burst, right? You can fine tune, make your changes, or if you just want to do a simple color burst by itself, it'll then do that for you for your subjects, keep them in color, put that background in grayscale, and have a great image to work with. All right, so that was an overview of our AI Color Burst feature inside of MediaPlace. Stay tuned for future tutorials, and as always, keep creating.